Yo, Cherry is crazy and you need to watch it, but this is why you need to watch it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please do consider subscribing, like, and share. Welcome to the Dad Gang. So today, I am going to be talking about Cherry. I will have some spoiler parts towards the end, but most of it is going to be non-spoiler. So if you're down with that, let's get to this one. So, Cherry, where do I really start with this movie? It's a 2.5-hour movie, so that already might be a turn off for some people, but it's worth it. It's directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, who are most famous especially for their work with Community, the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame movies, as well as Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And it stars Tom Holland, who is playing a not-so-different version of Spider-Man in this movie. Tom Holland is really the next big thing in cinema. He has such range, it blows my mind. I have no words that could possibly top how I feel about what I saw with him. I saw this range thing he had with The Devil All the Time. If you haven't seen that movie, which features Robert Pattinson as well, who will be starring in The Batman quite soon, you should really go and see that movie. I will do a review on it sometime in the course of the week as well. Now, this story does a lot of genre bending, and it can be a little difficult to tell which genre it's really centering on, because it starts out as a bit of a psychological thriller, then it transitions to being a war movie, then it transitions to being more of a coming-of-age story, and it's going through all these different phases and you can't really take your eyes off it. Now, this movie is structured in the form of a book, so it starts out with a prologue before going with 5 different parts, I believe, if not 6, and then finishing off with an epilogue which has completely no dialogue, which is something I haven't seen too often in watching movies. The middle parts have a lot of action, there is a lot of romance, a lot of emotion, you know, elements combined from different genres. That's why I say it's very hard to tell what it was centering on. So the plot of the story essentially is structured over a 19-year time period, and it just covers one man, which is Tom Holland, and the changes he keeps going through over the course of time. So I'm about to enter spoiler territory. If you don't want any spoilers, then this is where I say goodbye to you. If not, here we go. Now, there were a lot of elements I saw in this movie which I've never really seen in any movie, but I was very appreciative of. The fact that when he is narrating his own first-hand account of events, there are some scenes where everything is just blocked out and it's really between him and the lady character who he does end up marrying, and it's just between them and everyone is just fizzled out in the background. It must have taken a lot of editing to pull off. I like that there were certain details in the story that pointed to the fact that he really didn't remember some of the names of characters, either that or they weren't really relevant to the story he was telling. One key example of this is a scene where he's talking to someone behind a desk and the person's name plate is Mr. Whatnot or something of the sort, but I pretty much alluded to the fact that it didn't really matter and he didn't really care or he didn't remember. I also like that certain faces were blocked in the course of his narration, even though he's in a scene with them. So you do understand that, yeah, he really doesn't know what they look like at that time, although he may remember what they look like down the line. There's this thing his character also does where sometimes in the course of a scene, he would actually be breaking the fourth wall. So he's practically talking to us and letting us know how he really feels in certain situations, such as when he was being presented a Medal of Valor or when he was about to stage that whole bank robbery at the very beginning of the movie. One of the things I was actually a little concerned about was how they were going to structure his aging, because this is a story that takes about 19 years and you don't see him age very much within the first 5 or 10, but you do see certain psychological changes that go on with him, of course, growing into a man. You do see how it ends up in the end where he grows that whole mustache when he's getting out of prison due to him getting parole and all that stuff. I like that they captured the war scenes the way they did, you know, where he has to go to Iraq or Iraq, however you want to pronounce it, and the psychological changes he's going through and the potential PTSD, or not the potential, but the actual PTSD that he suffers in coming back. There was only one movie that I really remembered when watching those war scenes, and that was Hacksaw Ridge, because then you got a first-hand perspective of what that character was going through and how he evolved over time in the course of telling his story. I think the PTSD scenes made him really relatable to most people who have gone through that, because we actually hear about these things. But to the level of which this was actually depicted in this story, I was really appreciative of the fact that, yeah, people really go through these things. People are messed up and are covering a lot behind the scenes, and people can go to certain extremes just to get rid of that pain. I was personally satisfied with the ending. There's not too much to read in the context of what happened. It's pretty simple, it's pretty self-explanatory and straightforward, and I love what they did. I really appreciate that they could pay off everything that was happening over the last 19 years to this particular moment in present day 2021. I do need to give a hand to the supporting cast because, man, they did so well in extending the story in different aspects or relating to Tom Holland's character. I must say this movie has made quite the impression on me, and I have no problem recommending it to anybody. Of course, do make the time to see it because 2 hours 30 minutes is a very long time. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this and you want to see more, please do click the subscribe button, hit that notification icon, and share with your friends as well. We're trying to support each other over here. I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care and be safe. I am the Dark Man, and I'm out.